Good morning. So I was gonna put this in Grinch's comment section. He made that recent video about. Oh man, I forgot to say hi to that guy. That guy's always nice. He made that recent video about well, Ring's disease was a classic. That's not. I shouldn't be saying that one, but I wanted to say that. But the one about the silent separation. So two things that like were very important in that. One, I just want to say real quick, props to him on the, gotta respect the gap. And I've talked about something like that before, or I talked about in a different way, in terms of how our blackness is, or how the black society is flattened, and that comes from Dr. T.S. Johnson talking about the flattening of blackness, or they flatten our blackness. Well, we, in terms of our hierarchical structure, we get flattened as well as black people, and we flatten one another. And we always do things to actually put ourselves on the same level as other people, without respect to saying, hey, listen, this person has done more, or this person should have done more, or what have you. And it's never enough. It comes to be like an unsatisfactory behavior, so to speak, or a behavior where you're unsatisfied, I should say, with everything, right? You can never be like, your hunger for success or progress or resources is never satiated the black community's hunger for that is never satiated. And you could say the gynocracy, if you want to use it as a different word for it, or synonym, so to speak, to frame this properly. So what happens is our blackness gets flattened, as well as people don't respect the gap. One thing that Grinch said was gotta respect the gap. And that's very important to me, at least, because it's like you get somewhere, you do certain things, and that gap is not respected. And then you start to say, wow, okay, this person did not respect X, Y, and Z gap. And then because you start to see how when that gap is not respected, people will look at you as if you're the same or you're less than, and that happens a lot too. So like the quote unquote builders of our society, the best of us, the most educated of us as men and women, we get what's it called? Pushed down to the same level as the ratchet girls, because the ratchet girls, we always have that ratchet homegirl type shit, right? Whether it be, you be a man or a woman, but talking for women have that ratchet homegirl, and then men have that ain't shit, bullshit ass nigga of a homeboy or what have you, right? So like we're always like one step away from that. We always stay connected to that. One thing that Grinch said I thought was really good or apt was, if I have the ability to reach back here in a couple years, then that means I haven't widened that gap enough. And I was like, whoa, that's a very powerful statement, because what it says, or the way it frames certain things, is like, hey, listen, if I have the ability to reach back, and it's not to say you shouldn't reach back, it's like, okay, why are you reaching back? Why don't you send somebody to reach back? You know what I mean? Or get somebody. Like if I have to reaching back, I think at a certain point should be us talking to, say you make $500,000, right? Or 300 grand or something like that, $500,000. You reaching back should be a person that's getting into the six figures, not somebody that's making 40,000 at, unless it's kids would be the only exception, but not somebody that's making 40,000 at McDonald's and you're trying to pour into that person so they can make better, or they can do better. It's just like, no, that's way too far back, and that means you haven't closed the gap. And I think that's how I conceptualize what Grinch was talking about. It's like if you have to reach that far back, then yeah, you're not doing it right, or you're reaching too far back, or you're too close to it. And I think that was very important. The main part of this video, or the main thing that I want to talk about in this video, is the silent separation, though, like his title, the title of his video, the agenda, so to speak. Let me get this AC right. The thing that gets me, or the thing that gets me about that, is that people really think that, the revolution or this change will really be televised. Like, we use that so much. And I like to think of it differently, of course, with social media. People think the revolution will be seen, and it just won't be. It just will not be. It will be something that happens. It will be, I think, silent. And I've talked to Grinch about this in the past, and in a different way, in a totally different way. And when I heard it, I was just like, yeah, that's like another way of looking at it, which I think is great when I talk to other brothers in the space, because it's like, okay, that's another way. I didn't think of that. Like, okay, that's a good way of looking at it, or that makes sense. I could understand that. But talking with Grinch, he was like, or talking with the way I said it with Grinch is, a lot of people think this MGTOW, red pill, a lot of this shit is in your face. And I'm not saying that there aren't people that are in your face about it. I'm saying most of the people that are listening to this or following this mantra, this way of thinking, this thought process, this mindset, they are not saying anything to you. It's not going to be something where you're going to it's not gonna be something where you're going to say, I'm red pill, bitch. You know, it's not like it's not like you're gonna drive up in a red pill, like in a literal red fucking pill, and whip that bitch around and just drift into a fucking parking spot and, like, you know, parallel park and shit, and be like, the red pill is here. Like, it won't be some wild shit like that. Or you ain't gonna go into a fucking store and, like, you have red fucking eyes like Kurapika, or Kurapika from Hunter x Hunter. But it's like, not like you're gonna have some red fucking eyes where, I should get some of those toys, where you these red eyes and people could see it, and it's just like, oh, at the dark moon, at the first light of the dark moon, his eyes shall turn red and he will go fuck these hoes. Like, it won't be some wild shit like that, man. Like, it's just gonna be the way I said it. It was, you're gonna walk past somebody and you're gonna be like, no, and then that's it. Like, it's not gonna be like you know, malice or anything else like that, or malicious or anything else like that. It's just gonna be like, nah, I'm not gonna deal with this chick today. Or, no, I don't feel like interacting with this woman today. Or, no, I don't really feel like playing around with this person at work today. Or, like, you know, I'm not gonna be at the what's it called, water cooler. Or I'm just gonna be a little bit antisocial today. I just don't feel like talking. Or and it's not just one day. It's just, okay, I just got a new job. I ain't gonna let no bitch fuck it up for me. And then you're wondering why that dude that you, you know, like for a chick, that dude that you want to talk to, or, you know, really get to know, or is quote unquote mysterious, and more or less he's just like, yeah, fuck that. Like, I don't want to, I'm not dealing with this chick. It's not that he's mysterious. He's just not gonna talk to you. Why is he so nice to the guys and everything? He must be gay. No, he's just, he knows, like, you know, the threat of him losing his job is going to be less likely with a fucking dude. And come to find out, the dude that he's talking to, he might know, or he might know that this person is from, you know, a certain space or of a certain mindset. Like, that dude has been quote unquote vetted. And, you know, it's not going to be something where, like, this man that I'm talking to at my job is going to threaten my livelihood or threaten my ability to make money. Like, that's kind of how it is. That's how I perceive it, you know, in terms of when I think about what Grinch said and what I've thought in the past, in terms of, like, just how do you know a MGTOW, right? Like, this is like one of those things that have always got me, because you don't hear people really talking about it. I think there's probably about one time that I can remember, especially in recent history, and it was a younger guy, and he was talking about the red pill shit. And I was like, whoa. But I don't get out often, and I'm not in a lot of social places. So you're not gonna be in Best Buy and a guy's just gonna be talking about, yeah, man, I don't like none of my bitches on social media. Like, you know, you're just not gonna fucking hear that. You might hear that at a gym, you might hear that at a bar, but you're not gonna hear that, you know, just out and about at a fucking Best Buy or some other store, or Apple store, or some shit like that. Like, oh yeah, you know, yo, the red pill is 360, all encompassing. Yeah, can I get a USB-C to Ethernet adapter? Yeah, man, fuck these bitches. You know, like, you're just not gonna hear it, right? So a lot of this stuff just is in people's heads. It's silent. You know, honestly, you could almost look around, like, everybody that has an earbud is possible. Like, it's possible that they're listening to red pill content. They're listening to MGTOW content. They're listening to SYSBM, Passport Bros, Abe Moore, Black Manosphere, any of these kind of, like, this is how this works. Like, anybody can get it, or anybody can be that, or be a part of it. And that's what a lot of people don't understand about the, you know, how this as an ideology is so powerful. And its power is in its silence. Its power is in, and that's just connected to what Grinch is saying, but like its power is in its silence, and that the fact that people aren't talking about this stuff. People aren't going over this stuff, which is why it was so important what Grinch said. And like, you know, thank the brother for the inspiration and everything that he does in the space, and the fact that he still comes back and he talks to people. You know, like one thing he said, he's like, yo, at some point, I'm not gonna be out here doing this, talking to y'all like this. And I was like, yo, that's very important, because, you know, at some point you really have to look at it like, yo, listen, I'm not gonna be sitting here talking to you about this shit. Like, you know, like, I don't know what y'all think, but this ain't gonna be an everyday thing, an everyday occurrence. So I thought that was very important the way he said it, because it was just like, you know, it might come out in one or two things that you say and ways that you say certain things, but it's not something where you and I are, put it like this, some of these MGTOW red pill guys, you know, myself included, when we get into public places and we're making some of these videos, we quiet down. We don't want anybody to hear us. And this is not a bad or a good thing or anything else like that. I mean, it's just, you know, we don't want to be seen as socially awkward. We know what we say is offensive or seen as bad, you know, which is kind of crazy, because when you hear people say all types of other manner of shit or fuck shit, it's just like, damn, they can say this shit, but then I'm having a problem saying X, Y, and Z, you know, or seen as like, anyways. But I think it's really important, or I think it's really, it says something that, you know, people can say off the wall wild shit, and we have to like be, you know, quiet. We don't talk this shit loudly. You know, like you see some of the stuff people do and the videos that they make. There's only a few people that are brave enough to really stand out like that, and say that type of stuff, or say anything while they're making a video. I'm sorry, I'm kind of losing my thoughts, so I started to ramble there for a second. But I hear like a lot of people, they'll make videos, like, you know, even Ed, he'll make a video, and if he gets into a crowded place, you know, Ed is not gonna talk this shit, because at some point, like, you know, hey, we can talk this, but I understand, like, you're not gonna be this is not for the masses. And that's the point I'm trying to make. It's not that somebody's like, say, a coward or anything else like that, but at the same time, you still have to walk in the society. And that's the whole silent separation. Like a person like Ed and the people that he reaches, whether they subscribe to him or just come back and watch his videos every so often, they come back and they listen to his content and they're like, wow, this guy has a point. Wow, this guy is right. Wow, this guy makes sense. Wow, this guy talks really fucking fast. But I understand everything that he's fucking saying. I felt everything that he's talking about. He made this movie reference, this comic reference. He actually made this reference, or a reference to this thought process in marketing, and that was very heavy or impactful to me, and so on and so forth. And you know, it sticks with them. Like, you know, let it burn. Like, it really sticks with them. And they keep going on with it. And then after a while, I was even thinking about this the other day. You know, I've said this before, where, you know, the red pill is infectious. In all time, like, you know, a lot of the people that are anti-red pill, you start to see them, like, they start to say, yeah, I don't really agree with it, or I don't agree with everything that they say, but this person has a point. And you only hear them talk about this shit when this person has a point. You know, then they're like, yeah, I don't agree with everything that they say, but this person makes sense. Or this person, you know, actually really put it on the wood, so to speak, and, you know, made it plain. You know, I was like, you start to, if you listen to people long enough, Lapeef, JR of Lapeef, and Anton of Lapeef, these guys, this is why I talk about the purple pill. These guys don't want to come off their blue pill square, so to speak. But you can see that blue pill square, a little bit of red paint on it. It's starting to turn purple, or is very purple. And it's becoming more and more red and moving away from the blue, right? When you have somebody like, you know, after a while, like, yeah, Kayla may say one or two things, or even Courtney and Michelle, but you can see what happened with them. Courtney and Michelle left, and Anton pretty much got rid of Kayla, it sounds like. That's what it looks like from the outside. I don't really get into their stuff, but just using that as an example. So if I'm wrong, correct me. But you start to see where they aren't like, these are no longer strongholds for female bullshit. These are no longer places where women could just say anything and it just like it slides. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's different. You can see a lot of these blue pill dudes are becoming red pill over time. So even though we may not talk about this, but the people that we do hit and the people that do listen to us, they're saying something different now. They're acting different. What the fuck? Is that the water? Wow. Yeah, let me go look at that. Like, I got this pond in my backyard and I never go back there, but I don't know if that's the water or something else. But these people, they don't, like, it's not gonna be just obvious. It's gonna be real, like, it's gonna creep up on people, really. Oh, that is really weird. Yeah, you see, like, in a distance, is like, that's the water, and then that's like something on top of the water, some like white thing. That's what I'm looking. I can see it from the yard. So you're gonna see a lot of people where they're just gonna change, and it's really gonna, and that's a part of the silent separation in my eyes, right? If I was to expand on the idea that Grinch has, or the way in which Grinch has said it, you know, that silent separation. Yeah, that's weird. What is that? It's like, I don't know if it's pollen or something. I should be done, but it's like blowing over. That's weird. Anyways, that's the silent separation. That's to me the silent separation, or that's a part of the silent separation, where people they're gonna like be against red pill. They're gonna be against, you know, these MGTOW and SYSBM fellas and stuff like that, and passport bros and this fucking bullshit where they keep on calling them passport boys. And it's just like, bro, like, how much of a bitch are you that you're just really gonna be misnaming these fucking guys and calling them out of their name in a sense, and then just keep on saying passport bros or passport boys and shit like that? And it's like, bro, you know that's not the case, because you overemphasize the fucking word boys every time you fucking say it, like you're really trying to like fucking put a dagger in these guys. And it's just like, bro, don't you understand? By keep on saying this and like putting that out there and putting this information out there on a regular basis over and over and over and over again, that you're just really spreading this shit. And it's just like, come on, dude. Like, we've seen this before. We know what this looks like. I've already beaten this level of the game. Why am I here again? You know, that type of shit. And it's like, I really see this shit, and it's just like, bro, come on. Anyways, back to the silent thing, and I'll say this because I'm kind of rambling, so I apologize, guys. While I back up this fucking truck. Oh, all right, got the lines. Boop. Huh. Look at my fucking, oh, look at my dog. This is what I see all the time. I don't know. Oh, man, you can't really see it. Oh, okay, she moved, too. You can see little legs right there. She be sitting right by the damn door, bro. Ridiculous. You see her little legs. Hold on, let me see if I can make her move. Cause she was literally right at the door, like she was looking so fucking lost. Anyways, but that to me is the silent separation. A part of the silent separation, and I might be actually taking this out of the bounds of what Grinch was saying, but the silent separation from bullshit, from the dysfunction, from the black community as we know it now. Like, it's changing. A lot of people are doing things differently. You know, like, we're not sitting here dealing with the same bullshit every fucking time. Like, a lot of people are just saying, hey, listen, we're not going to do this anymore. I don't like the way this is being handled. and we're making a fucking change here. And, you know, some people don't want to say, oh, admit, or like, you know, this is red pill ideology. No, this is my ideology. The problem with the red pill is, you know, they don't want to fuck women. It's not the same, you know. But the thing about an ideology is anybody could really follow it, and follow it loosely. And that's the crazy thing about the MGTOW ideology. I remember when Angry Man first started talking about it a lot back in the Coliseum days, and he was just like, you know, it's like, what is MGTOW? Like, everybody tried to put a definition on it, and it's like, there is no true definition. There are different sects. There's different there's different sects. There's different followings. There's different ways that you can actually be quote unquote MGTOW red pill. Like, you know, you don't have to just fall into the usual bullshit when it comes to the way people look at something, right? Like, for instance, if we can have all these different sexes, like when I say sex, like, you know, like there's like SECTS, sex, like sections, and then there's different sexes. Sorry, I just wanted to make that clarification there. This is a horrible ramble. But if we can have all these different sexes, so to speak, you know, be pansexual, bisexual, trisexual, trisexual, you know, then why can't we have a loose ideology that doesn't have real boundaries, that can almost be anything? Now, I think there should be some limitations to certain things, and there should be some commonalities between them. If you have a Venn diagram, at the center of it should be the commonality that, you know, where all of these things intersect. But the thing about the red pill ideology and MGTOW ideology and thought process is, when you start to actually go through all of this stuff and you start to see it, you know, it can cover a lot, and a lot of people take it in different lanes and take it down different paths. And that's one of the good and bad things about it, because anything could almost be considered red pill, but then there are certain things that are just inherently red pill or seen as red pill, even though you think it's your own. It's just, you know, red pill can be seen as common sense. Red pill could be seen as awareness. Red pill can be seen as, you know, being fed up and not wanting to take anybody else's bullshit. You know, like, that could be, in a sense, red pill. And the reason why I say that is because you really start to be aware of the bullshit that you're given, and you're like, hey, listen, I don't want to be a part of this anymore. And you're actually making that change, and you're not taking the usual delusion, or the delusion that's fed to you by other people, which is usually a blue pill. All right, I'll stop it there because I'm rambling and I've lost my train of thought a couple times. So thank you guys for listening, but go and listen to that that video. I have to finish it. The Great Silent Separation. And I think what Grinch is mainly talking about is that, you know, the separation from, you know, the lower level dysfunctional black community and higher level thinking, or elite brothers, or brothers that are building, or people that are building, because you mentioned women in there as well. But people that are building. My thought processes on this is that separation, that's an umbrella term or a greater idea. And then my thought, or the stuff that I thought about it, is, or my interpretation or take on it, is how it happens. It happens, you know, it's in the mind, and it starts to like get tossed around in people's minds, and they don't even know that, you know, they're really thinking about it consciously or even subconsciously, and then it comes out in so many different ways. And that's like my thought process on it. And then it becomes something more than relationships. It really becomes a thought process for how to quote unquote fix society. This is why I always like to refer to it as a patch or something like that. All right, I'll leave it there because I said I would end it. Talk to y'all later. Peace. Love you all.